and Jaime walked to the grotto in the cool of the evening, holding hands and making light conversation. When they got to the lake's edge, they sat in the dirt and watched the sun start its journey in giving up its time to the moon. They looked at each other and slowly started to kiss. Nora loved making out with her handsome boyfriend. It was her second favorite source of pleasure in life. Her aunt always dropped hints that she should spend less time with Jaime and find a part-time summer job like Emily. Nora spent all of her time with her head in her Bible, or with Jaime, and she swore that's how she wanted to spend the rest of her life. Jaime laid Nora down in the grass, and his lips moved down from her lips to her neck. Nora's breath shortened. She loved it when he kissed her like this. She played in his warm dark brown hair as he kissed her neck, love for him swelling in her heart. Nora slipped her hands under his shirt and took it off. Jaime smiled. You trying to get me naked, Nora? No, I just like to feel your skin and see it at the same time. Nora kissed his hard square shoulder softly and tenderly. Over the past few months, they had become bolder with touching each other while they made out. Jaime kissed her lips again and said, not fair unless I get to take off your shirt too. Whoever said life is fair? Like, it's not fair that you are so handsome you make me want to take off my shirt for you. Nora ran her hands through his long dark hair and kissed his jaw again. Well, don't let me stop you. Jaime laughed as he kept kissing her. He slipped his hand under her shirt and slowly moved it upward. Nora held her breath. She loved the way it felt when his warm hands touched her. Her breathing got more complicated as she got more turned on. She didn't know what was harder, dealing with her newfound arousal or the rock in her boyfriend's pants. She put her hand over his bulge for the first time. Now it was time for Jaime to hold his breath. Am I hurting you? Nora asked anxiously. No, just the opposite, Jaime said, trying to control his breathing and himself. This made Nora feel confident and she kissed him with all the passion in her soul. The two teens kissed in the grass as the sun set. They thought of nothing but each other, enjoying the sounds of the birds singing their nightly tune, covering up their heavy breathing. Nora's eyes were closed in pleasure. She could have kissed Jaime forever. Jaime stopped kissing her. She opened her eyes and found him looking down at her lovingly. He was beautiful to her, just as she was beautiful to him. Nora, I love you, Jaime said softly, then went back to kissing her softly. Nora smiled and pushed him off of her for a second and said, I love you too. She pulled him back to her and kissed him aggressively. Soon they stopped kissing as Nora was so dizzy she needed a break. When she sat up, reality set in and she realized how late it was. Jaime sat up too and started to put his shirt back on. You want to call the gang and get them to come out with some firewood? No, I want to get back to my Bible study, Nora said, watching Jaime put his shirt back on, already missing his skin and his muscles. She gave his chest one more kiss. Jaime chuckled. Nora, if you want to go back to your Bible study, don't do stuff like that, or else I'll keep you here in this grass a lot longer, Jaime said confidently and threw his head back. Nora blushed, a little embarrassed about how lusty she had been. What would God think of her? It wasn't like her to be so lusty, but she loved Jaime. She did.